Welcome to the very first episode of the fucking show podcast. It's taken some time for us to figure out how to make this all work, but we figured it out. You guys can call me Cooj. I'm the voice that you hear behind all of the videos. To my right here, you can call him Producer Craig, Mr. Craig. What else?
Craig.
Okay, Craig. He's a brilliant editor behind all of the videos. He's becoming an awesome producer, setting this whole show up, and he's also one of my very close buddies. So today, we're going to be walking you guys through the whole playoff picture. We'll be breaking down each series. We'll probably talk about each team for a little bit at some length. And then that'll be followed by answering some of those questions that you guys had submitted. We're not going to be able to get through all of them because there was like 1,200, but we'll get through a good chunk. And yeah, there's no better day to start this podcast. I think we've got playoff hockey starting tomorrow at the time of us recording this. The sun is out. It's bright blue sky. It's fucking hot out, which is a rare thing in Vancouver. Beers are already cracked. So I'm thinking this should be a good episode. Before we get right into the playoffs, is there anything you want to say to these?
I just want to say thanks to everyone for the support. It's been fucking amazing. It's been amazing.
100%. Yeah. Like, guys, we don't have any like significant background in the game other than we played growing up. We're just fans of the game, and we started doing this just for fucking fun. We thought it was a funny joke, and you guys have actually turned it into something where we actually have a podcast. Like, I fucking listen to these things. I never thought I would actually have one, and now we do. So
yeah, I never thought in a million years I'd be a podcaster.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Right into the playoffs then? You don't have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, let's get right into the playoffs, I guess.
Okay, do you want to start on the East or the West?
Hold on a sec. Why don't we start on the West?
On the West.
Yeah.
Okay, then the way that we'll do this is I've got all the matchups written down.
Honestly,
so
the matchup order that you sent me over text is how I have it laid out.
Okay, so you got the same thing in front of you then.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say the series. You talk about it, give your pick, I'll give my pick, and then if we want to discuss further, then we can discuss further about each series. So we're going to start with Colorado and Dallas.
Colorado.
And you have
Dallas.
your picks already, right?
I got my picks.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was doing this last night, I actually put down Avs in 6. But with the news today with Jason Robertson potentially missing, I think it was a week, I think I'm going to go with Avs in 5.
Yeah, you also know they just lost to, I mean, it's a regular season game, last game of the year. I doubt they were going that hard, but it's not a good look that they just lost to Nashville 5-1.
Yeah,
right?
and then the loss to Vancouver where they blew that lead in the last 2 minutes or something.
Since that Vancouver loss, I think, how many games would they have had left? I
Maybe
think
2
I
or
saw
3?
that they were on like a 7-game losing streak. I don't know if that's accurate, but shit's looking fucked up in Dallas. Like, the blue line without Heiskanen is kind of in shambles. You've got Harley, who is a sick D-man. He's going to be a future number 1, but without Heiskanen on that back end, it's super fragile. And then up front, they got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It kind of feels to me like it's like when you're playing GM mode and you just like sign a whole bunch of good dudes, but they don't really have that chemistry. And they're not necessarily like playoff guys either up front. Like Robertson is good. Hintz is good. Who else am I forgetting up there up front? On that first line. Hintz, Robertson,
Rantanen,
who he is a proven playoff guy,
Mason
but he hasn't proven it
Wyatt
without
Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, well, that second line, Marchment, Sagan, and Duchesne just got back together. Yeah. And that's chemistry. And that line can cook. Wyatt Johnston is a playoff guy. He performed well in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling that they're going to get cakewalked. I had 4-1 Colorado.
4-1.
Yeah. I think they're going to get
I think
they're going to get fucked up.
Same as me here, buddy. I said
You said 6, right?
No, I said 5. Last night when I
Oh, you said in 5.
I said in 5.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're the same. Just because with the news of Robertson, I think it's even more of a
I should probably rephrase too. It's not just that Dallas like has problems because on paper they are a good team. I think the biggest problem with Dallas is just that they're facing Colorado in the first round of the playoffs. And I think that GM has done for Colorado what no other GM has done for their team this year. Like if you look at Colorado's opening lineup and you look at their lineup for game 1 of the playoffs, it's a completely different fucking team. And they've got almost every single hole filled.
Yeah.
They got everything you could need except for goaltending. But Colorado fans will tell you that their goals have been great. So.
I honestly think that the goaltending, I don't think it's as huge as an issue. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm not a goalie, and I don't like it's. I can pay attention to the game and understand the game like from a skater perspective. I never played goalie. I've never really paid attention to goalies, so I don't really have like much to contribute in that conversation. But all that I know, like what makes me feel comfortable is having a number 1 and like you know his name. Like you just know he's like a guy. And Colorado doesn't have that. But again, those fans will tell you that Blackwood and who else is in that tandem?
Wedgwood.
What Blackwood and Wedgwood.
It's
they
the
say
Woods.
that they've been great. Yeah.
It's the Woods.
The Wood fellas.
Wood fellas.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem for Colorado. They're so heavy up front and on the back. Like, I think they're just gonna.
Yeah, and getting Landeskog back is fucking huge. If
mention that,
if he
scored too in his age, not his debut.
If he can come back and he can just fit right into that lineup and it's business as usual.
It's actually a good question. Where the fuck are they gonna put him? Hold on, I want to pull up Daily Faceoff real quick.
To be honest, they could really put him on like.
Probably line 3.
Line 2 if he's like good, but they'll probably start him on line 3 and they have so much depth.
Well, the thing is, you could even put him on line 4 and all that's going to do is make them all that more frightening because, okay, so they got Lehkonen, McKinnon, and Natchez on the first line.
Whoa, guys, did he just say Natchez right?
Well, you guys say it to me so many times in the comments, and I actually appreciate it when people give you like the actual pronunciation spelling. That's helpful.
I give you the
I see that.
pronunciation
yeah,
all
but
the time.
it takes a while to actually get in there. When I'm ripping, I just say it until like, you know, it breaches the subconscious barrier. Drouin, Nelson, and Nichushkin line 2. I'd actually like to see Nichushkin with McKinnon, but I don't think it's going to matter a whole fuck of a lot. And then you got Kiviranta, Coyle, Colton. In my opinion, that's the line you stick Landeskog on. So you got Landeskog, Coyle, Colton.
Yeah, no, that would be a really
solid
good
fucking
line.
Third line. It's probably the best third line in the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
But
don't kid yourself. I think if Landeskog can come in and he's just, like I said, business as usual, I think he could easily get on the second line.
Totally.
And if they slot, who is the second line centerman? Sorry,
Brock Nelson.
Yeah, they could easily put Brock Nelson on the third line.
Well, no, Landeskog's a winger. He's not a centerman.
Oh, I thought he was a centerman.
He's a left winger.
Interesting.
So, no, it's fine.
He looks like a centerman.
The thing is, like with this top 9, you have unlimited options because you can basically slot anybody anywhere. But they've got Lehkonen, McKinnon, Natchez line 1 right now.
Yeah.
But okay, that's that. You want to move on to the next series?
Yeah, it's Edmonton, LA.
Oh yeah, fucking rights. Okay, because this one. Okay, just go. Just give me yours.
Okay, my prediction is gonna be the LA Kings in 6.
Okay.
And I think for them, they're gonna really flourish at home. I think like they're gonna take the home ice advantage. Their stats at home this year are fucking crazy. And then obviously, you know, Edmonton's had a lot of fucking injuries this year. So I don't know. Connor McDavid just said he called out the media, or everyone's saying how they're a team of Band-Aids and whatnot, and I don't know.
Okay, look. So I've been shitting on Edmonton all year, and I stand by everything I said. I think that like their forward. If you look at their forwards for coming into Game 1 with Evander Kane back, it's a minor thing, but he does. It makes it look a lot better in that top 9. Like it's pretty solid. You could argue maybe that their depth up front is better than last year, contingent on Arvidsson and Skinner not performing like lemons. If they can play good hockey, then yeah, okay, I can live with that argument. I think their D got worse, no doubt. And their goaltending, I don't even know what the fuck to think about that. Like that's a roulette spin. But I was thinking about this long and hard because I didn't want to just say like, oh, like LA, like Edmonton shit. I wanted to really think about it. And taking into consideration what McDavid said, I have a feeling that they actually might still win the series. So what I actually wrote down is Edmonton in 7. I do think it's a toss-up. I think it could go either way. And if Edmonton beats LA, I think they're going to get their asses kicked by... I don't want to spoil the later picks.
Yeah.
I think Edmonton would lose in that next round. But I think that they can beat LA in 7 games. I think McDavid and Draisaitl have the ability to just take it over and steal it, essentially.
Yeah,
like,
no,
I love LA. I love LA's mojo. I think they're sick, but I don't know. Like, dude, you really think McDavid and Draisaitl are gonna lose in the first round?
No, and that's the thing, right?
That's kind of what tipped it for me.
You have McDavid and Draisaitl. Those guys are fucking beasts.
Yeah,
they're fucking beasts. But I don't know. I think the goaltending's a big issue.
Like it is. That's why there's no chance in fucking hell that they're going to win the cup this year. They're not even going to go to the final, in my opinion. And if I'm wrong, I already said this in the Instagram comments, I will be the loudest praiser of Edmonton because I don't think there's anything in these playoffs that I want to happen more than McDavid winning. I just don't think that team is built to win the cup.
No.
So if it does happen, I'll be screaming loud and I'll be making fun of myself. I just don't think it's going to fucking happen.
Yeah. Well, on to the next one here.
You have it? You just want to say it then?
Yeah. The next one we got is Vegas and Minnesota.
Yeah, so this should be quick.
Yeah, to be honest, that series is like the least favorite series I'm least excited to watch for some reason. I don't know.
Well, just because you think it's going to be overwhelmingly just Vegas the whole time?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. I think
Minnesota got Zeev Buium, buddy.
No, I know, but is he even going to play in the playoffs? I don't know.
I think so. I think he can.
I'm taking Vegas in 6, and someone that I think is going to be a big key player in this series is going to be Pavel Dorofeyev.
Yeah, he popped off this year.
Don't know how to say the fucking name.
You said it right. Dorofeyev. He popped up this year. He scored a lot of goals. He's actually kind of solidified himself as a low-key goal scorer. I think he got over 30 this year.
I want to say he put up like 35.
Okay, yeah, so that's fucking solid.
That's pretty good.
I don't even think he really needs to step up. I just think Vegas is going to breeze by Minnesota. I like a lot of what Minnesota has on the cooker, but I think Vegas has the deepest decor in the whole playoffs, and I just don't see Minnesota lasting long. I think it's going to be over in 5 for Vegas.
Honestly, I was looking at the D, though. The only thing, I mean...
For Vegas' D or Minnesota's?
Vegas. The top 4 is, like, really fucking solid.
Dude, even the top 6. I think it's...
But it's Ben Hutton on your third pair.
Yeah, somebody's injured, though. I think somebody's injured. If I can go off memory, I think it's... Theodore and Petro apparently don't play together. Somebody said that, but I swore that they did. So just for the sake of this, I'm going to go Theodore Petro, Hannafin, White Cloud.
Oh, that's who I think's injured.
McNabb.
Potentially. It's Hannafin that's out.
McNabb and Hag, right?
Well, no, like the lineups that I saw on Daily Faceoff were...
There's also that Korzak kid.
Yeah, the lineup that I saw was Ben Hutton and Korzak on the third pair. So Hannafin and White Cloud must be injured.
Hannafin's in, I think.
I feel like he's
Well,
injured.
Petro's actually out. He's been out.
Someone's
But anyway, long story short, when the whole Vegas lineup is in my opinion, that's the deepest decor in the playoffs. And like I said, like Minnesota's got some good things cooking. Kaprizov, that like young core of Faber and Buium coming up, and Boldy, and what the fuck's that guy's name? Rossi.
Yeah.
Like they got some good stuff going. Even that goalie, he's relatively young. Gustafsson. But not good enough to take Vegas, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Minnesota fans.
Yep. Okay, the next one we got up here is the St. Louis Blues and Winnipeg Jets.
Fuck yeah. I'm waiting for this one.
I think that there's got to be at least one upset in the first round. There's got to be. And the only two teams that can really be upset based on their regular season performance is going to be Winnipeg and Washington, because those two teams were lights out all year. So I'm actually going to go with St. Louis in 7. And I think the key player in this series is going to be Jordan Binnington.
Well, fuck. I wrote down the exact same thing. And yeah, well, you know what's funny? It's a rematch of Canada-USA.
Yeah.
Binnington and Hellebuck.
And I just want to say one thing. I've never watched Binnington that much. As much as I did, obviously, when the Four Nations was on. And the one thing that really stood out to me about Jordan Binnington's game was his puck-moving abilities as a goalie.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't give a fuck.
It's pretty fucking crazy. Sometimes when I was watching as a Canada fan, I'm like, buddy, just stay in your fucking net and stop going crazy with the puck here.
Defensemen like that, though. If you got a goalie back there who can help you out and contribute to the
helps
breakout,
a lot.
Yeah.
When it goes well. And I haven't really seen him fuck up that much. I don't watch many St. Louis games, but I haven't seen him personally fuck up and turn over the puck and dish it off to a guy like Fleury did in the playoffs that one year.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I mean, I think again, this is what I don't like. I don't like when, whether it's Edmonton or Winnipeg, these fans, there's a lot of Winnipeg and Edmonton people that follow us, and they all say that I'm a fucking Winnipeg and Edmonton hater. Yeah. I'm not. I'm just trying to be as objective as I can. I'm making these predictions I'm betting my life on it. And it's just my opinion. And it's Winnipeg's had an amazing year. And they've got a lot of on paper what looks like the right pieces. But for me to for example, for that video yesterday, the top 5 cup picks, for me to have Winnipeg on that list, and for the last how many years they've been out in the first round, it never ends up even last year Winnipeg was kind of going into the playoffs like a horse. People they were one of the top teams and they fucked up.
They're like the Toronto of the West.
They were playing Colorado though last year.
They're like the Toronto of the West.
Yeah.
Literally.
So again, if Winnipeg wins the cup, I'll be the loudest praiser about them. You guys will see the Instagram videos. I'll be happy for them. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think St. Louis has got a sick mojo. Jim Montgomery, I think, is a gangster coach. You got Jordan Binnington in the pipes. You've got a team who has this underdog energy, and they're all that's powerful, whatever that is. That feeling, that energy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's powerful. And they got hot at the right time. And they've also got a lot of low-key, solid fucking players. Fowler is not a point a game, but he's pretty close to a point a game for a defenseman. Parayko's got 16 goals this year, and he's an absolute horse on the back end. Justin Falk, solid.
Yeah.
30 points defenseman. Doesn't make too many mistakes. He can contribute offensively. Broberg, haunting Edmonton still. Solid.
Holloway, not that he's defenseman, but I just mean.
Yeah. I was just going through D-men first. And their last 2 D-men were Nick Leddy, and you got that Tyler Tucker kid.
Yeah.
Torrey Krug's injured. He could be in the lineup.
Yeah.
But, and then, up front, Holloway, Jake Neighbors is a low-key dangerous player. Bushnevich, Thomas, Kyrou. They kind of go head-to-head almost as far as, names on paper.
Who's this
with,
Jimmy
Winnipeg.
Snuggard kid?
Snuggerud?
Snuggerud.
I think he played for Minnesota. He scored a goal, actually. I don't know. I really don't know anything about him, but he's been playing, and he can play in the playoffs, so we'll see if he can step up and contribute.
Yeah, because was it the top 5 rookies that were stepping in that could help with the playoffs? I noticed a lot of guys.
I put Quinn Hudson, but people were saying Snuggerud, and if I knew that Quinn Hudson wasn't going to be eligible, then I would have put Snuggerud.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he played here 7 games this season. He got 1 goal, 3 assists, so 4 points.
That's decent.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's 20 years old.
Yeah, that's fucking decent. I mean, again, we're not analysts. at the end of the day, we love watching the game. We're enjoyers of the game. We're fans. I just have a feeling basically that the Blues are going to upset the Jets. That's it.
Yeah.
And apparently you have that same feeling.
Yeah, no, I think so too. So now we're gonna pop into the East. The East. My bad. The first one we got up here is gonna be Carolina, New Jersey, and I'll let you take this one.
So I was thinking about this question, and I was like pondering to myself, out of all of the series, I'll just ask it now to you. Actually, no. Out of all of the series, if you had to like basically wager everything on one series, on being right about one winner,
Yeah.
I think it would be Carolina over New Jersey. Like, not saying that Carolina is like this super sick team, but they're structured as fuck. They work hard, and they've got good pieces. And I don't think New Jersey is equipped whatsoever to handle them for 7 games. I think Carolina's going to blow through them.
Really?
Yeah, like 5 games.
Interesting. I honestly think.
Did you pick New Jersey?
I'm picking because I go based on a lot of these picks are actually based on like what I want to see. It's like my opinion and what I want to see happen. This one in particular, I want to see New Jersey win.
Wait. So wait. Let's back up. So you're saying the picks you're making are based off of teams you just want to see win, not what you actually think is going to happen.
Like, it's what I think. It's a combination of
or just like it convolutes your decision making process.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So you have New Jersey in how many games?
I'm taking New Jersey in 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't even have fucking Jack Hughes back.
I know.
That's fucking crazy. I think the only thing that can extend that series is if Markstrom steals a couple games, which could happen, but I don't think so. Like,
I mean,
New Jersey doesn't have much.
You still have Bratt and Heischer, and I don't think they're as bad as you think. Like, if they had Jack Hughes, it would be.
I don't know. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think Carolina.
I guess that would be considered an upset in a sense too, potentially, if New Jersey did win based on their current roster, maybe. But
I think it would be an upset.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting, but I think Carolina's gonna fuck them up.
Here, hold on 2 seconds here. Now we're on to. Was it? Sorry, hold on a sec.
Montreal, Washington.
Yeah, Montreal, Washington. Give me 2 seconds. Technical difficulties. Montreal, Washington. Okay. And this is kind of where I was going with what I last said. Like, my decision-making process here is what I think is going to happen / what I want to happen. And I'm going to go Montreal in 7. I think all the emotions with Gretzky. All the emotions with Ovi breaking Gretzky's record. I think that's what really gave those guys a boost the whole season. And I think seeing Montreal get that last spot and how electric that fucking arena is, it's going to be crazy.
Well, look, I would love to see Montreal win. I want Montreal to win. Like, I might even want Montreal to win the cup more than I want Ottawa to win the cup. But
I would rather Ottawa win the cup.
And also, here's the other thing. I don't think Washington is as good as everybody thinks they are. Like, they, again, similar to Winnipeg, amazing regular season. They had that mojo going all year. And, like, they have a good team on paper. I just don't think they're going to win the cup this year. I think there's a lot of better teams, like those top 5 that I mentioned in that video yesterday. But I do think they'll take Montreal in 7 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Montreal wouldn't have Game 7 at home.
No,
they're fucked then. Maybe in that building they could do it, but
I don't know.
No.
The next one,
but like, no.
I
was just gonna say, like, Nick Suzuki really has been impressing me lately. Like, he could be an X factor that like maybe changes the dynamic in some ways. Like, if he can really elevate his game and his team rallies around him, maybe some magic can happen, but I just feel like the Capitals are probably going to win that in 7.
Would you say that Nick Suzuki might be one of the most underrated players in the league potentially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what he does for Montreal, like what game did I just watch? Fucking what was that game where they just clinched? Who did they play?
Carolina.
Yeah. So I watched that game. You see his goal that game?
Yeah. But
sick.
Did you also see that Carolina had like everybody out?
Yeah, I did.
Not that
but
it
still,
matters, but
dude, it doesn't matter. It
goal's
doesn't
a goal.
matter. Fucking Vegas can lose to Chicago. It happens. Like if you're playing hard, it's not easy to score, no matter who's on the ice. But I just think Nick's got I think he's got a swagger to him, and I think that I don't know why it is that he's underappreciated, but like he's dope, and he kind of reminds me of like Jonathan Toews energy almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he gives me those vibes.
He does seem like a very, very good captain.
Yeah, like he's not a super, super high-end scorer. Toews never really was a super, super high-end scorer. Like 82 to 89 point type of guy, responsible defensively. I think he's a sick captain. And even if Montreal doesn't do shit this year in the playoffs, who cares if you're a Montreal fan? Because you guys got a lot of years of good shit ahead.
This year he put up 30 goals, 59 assists. So
how many points?
89 points in 82 games.
And I think that's his career high, 89 points. And that was kind of like Toews. Like I don't think Toews ever reached 90 points.
Last year was his second career best, and it was 77 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look up Jonathan Toews real quick. See what his career high was. I don't think he ever went over 90 points.
Jonathan Toews.
I don't think.
I mean, that whole era of the NHL was completely different.
I know, but Patty Kane was putting up like
the
90,
best season
points.
that Jonathan Toews
Let
had.
me guess. Okay.
The year or the points? Why don't you guess?
No, I'm not going to guess the year. That's going to be a little... Well, fuck it. I'll try.
Try and guess
I'll
the
try
year.
to guess the year and the points, okay? I'm going to go... okay, when did they win the Cup? They won the Cup 2010, 2013. I'm going to say 2010, and I'm going to say 89 points.
No. In 2010, Jonathan Toews put up 76 points.
Fuck me.
His best year is 2018, 2019.
What?
82 games played, 81 points.
Wait. So he never even hit a point a game?
Never.
Yeah. See, it doesn't even fucking matter, though, because he was responsible defensively. He did his job. It doesn't matter.
If you look at that era of the NHL, not many guys
were
just
it was lower scoring.
fucking shitting out 100 points.
For example,
seasons.
in 2014, Jamie Benn led the league in points. Guess how many points he had? Led the league in points. Art Ross Trophy.
He led the league in points.
You're going to laugh. Yeah. I think it's 2014. We'll have to look it up after, but you're going to laugh.
I'm going to go 89 points.
I think it was 87. Look up 2014.
Which is so
2014
crazy.
leading scorer, 87 points, I think it was.
He had the most points in the NHL.
Yeah. Well, look it up. Look it up. This is going off my memory.
Holy shit. Let's check this out.
I think it was 87, which is fucking nuts.
In 2014?
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, in 2014. Or no. Yeah, 2014, 2015, he had 87 points. In 2015, 2016, he had 89 points.
Wait, can you type in 2014-15 NHL leading scorers? So let's just see if he actually was the leading scorer. But I got the point number right? 87?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
NHL. Jamie Benn.
Right?
Yeah.
So what would the next guy have?
John Tavares, when he was playing for the Islanders, he had 86 points. And then third was Sidney Crosby,
nuts.
84 points.
That's fucking nuts. So think about that, boys. Like 2014, Jamie Benn led the league in points with 87 points. Today, if you have 87 points, you're what? Top 15? Maybe? Top 20?
Yeah, more like top 20 probably, because I feel like you got like the guy, like you got 5+ guys that are getting 100 plus,
and then like a handful that are getting 90.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot more fun though to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, on to the next one here. We got let's start with the Battle of Florida.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. That's a roulette toss. But,
this one's a roulette toss. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I had written down Tampa in 7, but the more I think about it, I go back to Florida, and like. The only way that I can answer this is I don't have a fucking clue. I just know it's going to be the most entertaining round 1 by far. Like, it's going to be good. I think if Florida's going to win, because Tampa is fucking heavy up front, I think it's the best top 6 in the league with Kucherov, Gensel, Point, and then you got Hagel, Cirelli, and you can plop fucking Yanni Gordon there, but you probably wouldn't. You'd probably keep Yanni Gordon.
Now you got
third line center. You can pop him on right wing. We might even be forgetting somebody else, but Tampa is heavy there. They got solid D, best second D pairing probably in the playoffs with McDonough and Chernak.
Yeah,
and their number 1 is Hedman and Moser.
Yeah, which is solid. So interesting. But I mean, hey, defenseman.
I don't think Moser's doing much. Like, he's just a mobile guy that moves the puck.
Yeah,
doesn't really.
Their job is just to keep the puck out of the net.
Yeah.
If you can get an assist or a goal here and there, it's a bonus.
And then they got Vasilevsky in net. But what I was saying is, if Florida is gonna win this series, they need Marchand to like really step up and be Marchand, and he usually does that in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, for
and
sure.
if that happens, then. Yeah, Florida might win. But if I had to fucking guess, this is tough, man. Because like even just the other day, I said Tampa would probably go to the final, but now I'm kind of switching it to Florida, and I think I'd go Florida in 7.
Yeah, I went with my pick is.
That's how my mind fucking changes. Though.
Yeah,
it changes a lot.
My pick was also Florida in 7. I just think
it was. You didn't pick Tampa?
No,
I thought you would have picked Tampa.
No, I like Florida.
Florida's
a sick team.
All right. I thought it was going to be a little different.
No, their team is fucking sick. Reinhardt, Kachuk, Bennett,
Barkov, Verhaeghe,
it's
Marchand,
fucking sick.
Rodriguez, Lundell.
Yeah, and you have Bobrovsky as a goalie?
Yeah.
Come on.
And then on the back end, they got Forsling, Ekblad, Mikola, Jones, Kulikov, Schmidt.
Yeah, I think
pretty fucking solid.
I think a healthy Florida Panthers fucks up a healthy Tampa Bay all day. Unless Kucherov is on some different shit. If he's on the Russian gas,
like is Kucherov? This is something I don't know. Like is he typically as dominant in playoffs as he is in regular season?
I
actually don't know.
I don't know either, but I want to say
I feel like it's more like Point and Hagel and Cirelli and those guys that are
but I want to say Kucherov. It has to do with his attitude and his like demeanor. It's like,
what do you mean?
Like I feel like if he's just not in the right headspace or something and shit's not going well and he's getting shut down, he's gonna probably.
Oh, like I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm
saying?
Like
if he's line matched with Bennett and Kachuk and Marchand and they're making his life hell, you think that gets in his head?
I think it'll fuck with him potentially.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what kind of a guy he is. I don't
heard
know how he'll be dealing with that, but it's definitely gonna fucking happen. Like if I'm Maurice, every time Kucherov's on the ice, that Kucherov, Gensel, whoever's on the right wing, Kucherov's on the right wing, so it'll be Kucherov, Gensel, Point. I would probably be putting Kachuk, Bennett, and Marchand against them all night long.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But then Tampa has an answer for Florida's line 1 because when they got Barkov, Verhaeghe, and Reinhardt out there, they're matched against fucking Hagel, Cirelli, and whoever the hell's on that right wing. Yeah. And Hagel and Cirelli were the shutdown guys on Team Canada.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like a back and forth.
Hey, let's not even. We haven't really even talked a lot about like the coaching. I think. Both coaches.
Two best coaches in the league.
Two best coaches. Yeah. So, like, it's
going to be sick.
It's going to be good.
It's just such a fucking shame that they end up playing each other in the first round because I truly believe whatever team wins that is going straight to the cup final.
Yeah.
Like this is basically the conference final in round 1.
Yeah.
And if it was 1 versus 8, it wouldn't be the case, right? If it was the old way?
I honestly
Pretty sure.
don't know.
Pretty fucking sure. I think it's a little silly.
1 versus 8. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But hey, the last matchup prediction here, and it's the Battle of Ontario.
I'm excited for this fucking series. This is going to be a good one.
This is I'm most excited to watch this series.
Who do you have?
Out of all of them.
How about this too? Okay, I don't care what you wrote down. Fuck who you want to win. Who do you really think's going to win? Like if you had to wager your life on this series, you had to be right.
Yeah.
Who would you pick?
I'm going with the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In 7 games?
I chose them in 7 games just because it's just like it's the perfect story here. You know, it's going to be Ottawa versus Toronto, Game 7, and it's going to be the same shit as every year. I'm sorry, Toronto fans. I'm sorry. I actually don't even necessarily hate the team that much, but there's something about the Leafs losing in the first round that just makes me happy.
You like seeing people struggle.
Yeah. Like until the Vancouver Canucks, if the Vancouver Canucks win a Stanley Cup before the Toronto Maple Leafs, then I don't care. I'll cheer for Toronto. But
I don't know, man. You know Hockey Illuminati?
Yeah.
He just posted another crazy video about
all the
what was it? It was the last time that the Leafs captain got a certain amount of points in a season. And it was what Matthew I think it was this. I think it was the same amount of points for a captain.
Yeah.
But the last time it happened was the year that the Leafs won the cup. And he's just on there, like, no speaking, just, like, pointing at shit.
Yeah.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, that's fucking dope. But, yeah, I don't know. It's not that I don't hate Toronto, but there's something about them. I get enjoyment of them getting bounced in the first round. And I also just want to see so badly. I would love nothing more to see that whole fucking core just get blown up, finally. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I think Mitch Marner, in the video today that we posted, we said that Matthew Nyes has to be the guy that steps up if they want to go far in the playoffs. I think another guy that needs to step up and play like he did in fucking Four Nations is going to be Mitch Marner.
Yeah,
because I was impressed by his game in Four Nations, like
especially the final.
Yeah, like he was good. He had that huge goal against Sweden. He got 2 assists in the final game.
After that Sweden goal, like, who did they play? They played Finland and USA. I thought in those 2 games he was fucking invisible. And then in the final game, Sweden.
No, Sweden, he had the overtime winner.
Okay, wait. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Sweden, Finland, and that round robin USA game. I thought he was invisible each game, other than the fact that he scored that overtime goal.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes up for it.
Yeah.
But then that final game, and I'm like not a Mitch Marner lover. Like, I don't give a fuck. But he was objectively, in my opinion, probably the most responsible skater for that W for Canada. So now he's got a special spot in my heart.
Yeah.
Because he did that for the country.
Yeah.
So I do believe in him. I think he can get it done. But the reason I picked Nyes for that top 5, like out of all the Leafs who needs to step up the most, because I think he's the most like fucking equipped based off of like who he is as a person to actually step up and take over. Like, we've seen Matthews and we've seen Marner and we've seen Nylander in the playoffs, and it's like you always want like just a little bit more. And Nyes, based off of the small sample size we see, he usually over-delivers.
Yeah.
So if he can come in and over-deliver, and then Nylander can just like contribute his part, and Marner can do his thing, and Matthews can do his thing, then maybe they can get through him. And honestly, it's definitely going 7 games. I look at this series a lot like I look at Tampa, Florida, just like on a lower scale, because whoever wins this series is going to lose to whoever wins the Tampa, Florida series. But
who's your
I
pick?
still go Ottawa in 7. I do. But just because, like, It's the same reason why I have Winnipeg losing in the first round. You haven't proved it. And if you haven't proved it, I'm going to go with the new dog who's got the new mojo. That's how I bet.
Yeah.
You know? Like Brady Tkachuk, he's going to be like, he's going to be making their life hell.
This is like fucking 2 months of Christmas for Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah, well, he's been waiting. He's been waiting for this forever. Like, let me ask you this: would you not say that he was probably USA's most impactful player in that series? Like, if you take Brady out of the Four Nations, don't you think like it would like a lot of things would be different? Like, I think Canada would like. I think it'd be a lot less close. Just the fact that he's on the ice and he's being a piece of shit, like it affects your best players' ability to do what they do. Just the fact that he's out there being a prick, whether they actually fear him or they're just annoyed with him.
Yeah.
It's just an added thing that is fucking annoying to deal with.
I think that the Tkachuk brothers are the reason why Four Nations was even as hype as it fucking was.
Blew up?
Yeah. I think like if you actually looked at
Well, if you look at what they instigated.
But if you look at like the Sweden Canada game, fucking unreal game in terms of like it going to OT, being a tight game, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But that USA versus was it Finland game? They played each other first. There was a couple hits landed in that Four Nations game against Sweden and Canada. And I was like, oh shit, like they're hitting. The intensity's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it was just fast. It was really fucking fast.
But when I watched the Finland USA game, like
they were fucking
USA came right out the gate and were throwing the body, and I was like, holy shit, like this isn't some fucking all-star game.
No.
This is.
I don't know how anybody could have thought that it would be like that.
And then like the first Canada versus USA game, the three fights in the first 9 seconds.
Game. I'm pissed off that I got so drunk that day because I barely even remember the actual gameplay.
It's tough.
I remember the fights, and then after that, it's like
it's tough to watch that game all day. In a bar.
Yeah, that's why I watched the gold medal game stone cold sober by myself. I wanted to take all.
We both watched that shit by ourselves. I put my phone on do not disturb, and I just
because I didn't want to like get all drunk again and like not because when you're drinking and stuff and you're out like you're watching the game but you're not really paying close attention to all the little details. That gold medal game was like probably the most enjoyable hockey game I've ever watched, and it was by myself drinking fucking water.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
Good. It was good.
Is that the last series?
That was the last series for round one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're not going through the whole fucking bracket, right? No. We'll save that for next time. I did want to ask you, though, that question that I brought up and answered already myself. If you had to bet everything you have like on one series being correct, which series do you think that would be? Like, which series are you most confident? Like,
the most confident
you had
series,
to, yeah, like you just...
If I had to choose.
You had to throw everything you have into it.
It's going to be Colorado-Dallas.
Colorado over Dallas? Yeah, that was my number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, just the injuries those guys have been dealt with it's a bit different than like Edmonton.
Yeah.
Because you still have McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah.
You know, Dallas doesn't have the 2 best players in the fucking world, you could say. But yeah.
The last question that I wanted to ask you in this segment, I guess, before we move on to all the fucking beauties who asked us questions.
Yeah.
We'll move on to that in a bit. Or in a second. The last question I wanted to ask you. What is your cup final?
My cup final?
And your winner. Like, give me the series. Same thing you just did, basically, but cup final.
If I feel like the easiest answer that I can give right now, my cup final has got to be potentially Florida-Vegas.
Florida-Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay. And who wins? It's the same as Frank Saravalli's.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think I saw that
yesterday. I think I'm going to take fucking Florida in
back-to-back.
7 back-to-back.
Yeah. I have Florida, Colorado, and I have Colorado in I hope it's 7.
Yeah.
but I think it might be 6. I think Colorado's going to.
I mean, dude, if
fucking burn
Aiden
blue.
Hill, if that guy plays lights out, like Vegas is fucking sick. Like I said,
Yeah,
the
I mean, I like Vegas. Yeah,
the
don't get me
guy
wrong.
that's really got to step up for Vegas. Not that he has to step up, but he just has to fucking steal the spotlight. Is Dorofiev, whatever the fuck his name is.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that he needs to step up and steal the spotlight. He just needs to bury the puck when Eichel puts it on his stick.
Yeah.
Like he just needs to. He doesn't necessarily need to take over play and shit because I don't think he's that type of guy. But when the puck comes to him and Eichel's going to be feeding it to him because I think he plays. I think the line is him, Eichel, and Mark Stone.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, he just needs to do his job. I think the biggest pressure for that Vegas team, as far as like game changing, is Jack Eichel, and then on the back end, Shea Theodore really doing what I know he can do. Because I think Shea Theodore is one of the most underrated defensemen in the NHL when he's at the top of his game. Like he skates almost as dynamic a fashion as like Quinn Hughes and Makar does in the offensive end. It's close. It's not there.
It's different.
But it's close.
Different.
Yeah. But dude, he's
definitely not as fast. Or like
not even fat, like agile and shit. Like he has that. He's in that same category. There's not many defensemen that are in that category that can do those little like whatever the fuck head fakes and shit on the blue line. But he can kind of do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Quinn and Makar are the best at it, and Lane Hutson's also in that conversation. But
Yeah,
I have Theodore in that realm.
I think Lane
kind of.
Hudson did he set a record this year? I think.
Yeah, most assists all time for a rookie defenseman. I think it was.
I don't know if it was on one of our videos or something, but I saw someone say somewhere that they think that Lane Hutson's gonna get 100-point season. Yeah.
Eventually, that's not crazy. That's like saying, because dude, I said this at the start of the year, like the way he skates, the way he manages the puck and carries the play in the offensive end, it's exactly like Quinn and Makar. And have Quinn and Makar had 100-point seasons? Maybe not 100, but they've had like high 90s. I think all 3 of those defensemen will probably have at least one 100-point season in their careers.
Makar's best season is this year. 92 points.
92 points.
Yeah. And he put up 30 goals, which I think was the first time a defenseman's put up 30 goals since yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Or maybe,
Yeah. A while. It's hard to fucking do.
Hey, I think Lane Hutson's going to be he already is a fucking amazing player. But let's see. Makar's played 5-6 seasons in the NHL, and he still has yet to put up a 100-point season. So I do think Makar is. I can't see other defensemen at this point in time coming for Makar and the Hughes shit.
I think they all could. Like if we're on this trajectory of skill and high scoring and shit. Like, how many points did Makar just get? 92?
92.
He just needs to get 8 more points to hit 100.
Yeah.
I think that all 3 of those guys could do it.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know if they all will, but they could.
He missed 2 games this year, so maybe if he played 2 more games, he would have got it. He had
would have been closer.
He had that 5-point night or something that one night.
So should we take a quick little break here and then get right into the questions from these guys?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because I got to grab a beer.
Okay.
And we're back. We had to restock our beers, take a piss, and now we're back flying. So we're going to get into the questions that you beauties have left for us. Again, we're not going to be able to get through all of them because there's a shit ton, but I think you've picked some out.
There's a few. There's a few that I thought that were super
sense.
good and made sense.
Okay. All right.
The first question here that I have for you, Cooj, is why is it called The Fucking Show? We actually get that question asked a lot, so that's why.
Well, some of you guys might not know, but they refer to the NHL as the show. That's what they call it. Not just the NHL. They refer to like any professional league as the show. And so when we were making this page, considering the NHL was what we were going to be covering, I just thought The Fucking Show was a cool name, and I thought it represented, the way that we were going to talk about it. Like, we swear, and it's kind of like being in the dressing room with the boys, that kind of talk. And the fucking show just made sense, and it was available on Instagram, so that was pretty much what pushed it over the edge.
I think, with the style of the content, I think if it wasn't called the fucking show, it would be weird.
No, I think it works because you see the name and you're probably like, oh, okay, the fucking show, that's interesting. Then you listen to a video and you hear 18 F-bombs and you're like, okay, this makes sense. That's what I'm assuming it's like from your guys' perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to combine this question together.
Okay.
We kind of touched on it, or you kind of touched on it. This is more so for you, Cooch. I'm just unfortunately associated with this question.
Okay. I don't know.
But let's address the Oilers and Jets hate.
Okay,
because
I guess some people might have skipped ahead and not watched the first part, but I did kind of address that already. Look, I understand why you guys want to call it hate, because most of the time when I bring up the Oilers or the Jets, it's negative. But it's like, I'm just trying to be as objective as possible, and I can't change my opinion. It's my opinion that the Jets and the Oilers are not suited to win a cup. And again, who am I? It doesn't really matter. I never played in the NHL. I never came close. But it's just when I look at the teams, and like, it's a little bit of different reasons. Like for the Oilers, I just think that their goaltending is a fucking roulette spin. You don't know what you're going to get on any given night. Their blue line, in my opinion, can't compete with the other top dogs in a 7-game series. The only thing that they have that can possibly get them to the finals again is McDavid and Draisaitl. And yeah, for that reason, maybe it's possible. But I don't think that they're going to win the cup until they address the goalie issue and just like make that blue line a little more solid. Like, I think their sixth pair is Emberson and Brown. I think that's their sixth pair.
Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
there's 2 Browns on the team?
They got a Connor Brown up front, and I think his name is Josh Brown on the back end. And no disrespect to them. Like, it's like, I don't like talking negatively about these players because they're in the NHL and they're obviously great hockey players. Yeah. But just objectively looking at it from a Stanley Cup perspective, like, that defense depth is going to take Vegas or Colorado or Tampa or Florida. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? It's not hate. Dude, it's just the truth, in my opinion.
They're just a couple Bush bombs away.
Yeah, a couple Bush bombs. Maybe if Bush goes off and scores every game. And then Winnipeg, it's like, it's
Toronto,
different. Yeah.
The Western Toronto.
Yeah, it's different than Edmonton because Winnipeg on paper actually kind of looks like they have that depth. And they got the goalie on paper. The problem is every time you get to the first round, it's like, what the fuck happened? Like, it's, and again, like, until you get past the first round and like you get over that first hurdle and you prove that you can do it with the guys that you got, it's hard for me to put them in like a top 5 cup contention situation despite the regular season, because Vancouver just had an amazing regular season last year. They wouldn't have been in my top 5 last year either to win the cup. And I'm fucking from Vancouver. So it's not hate. It's just, I'm trying to be objective here, fellas.
Yeah, no, for sure. Another question I had was, and we actually got asked this a bunch. It obviously slightly different wording each time, but this question was asked a bunch, and it was kind of like, what hockey moment or like what made you fall in love with the game of hockey?
Made me fall in love with the game of hockey.
Like, I think for me, like,
it probably wouldn't have been watching. It probably would have been playing. Would have been like winning my first tournament or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably something like that.
I started playing hockey a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like the emotional connection I have to hockey stems from a series of moments, and it was like the 2010-2011 season for the Canucks.
Oh.
Like that.
I thought you were going to say 2010 Canada.
Like that too, but I just mean like,
because that would probably be my moment on.
But that's kind of like what I'm like. That's like the dragon I'm chasing. Yeah, is 2010. Well, 2011 Canucks.
2011 just broke me. Like, that was because I was like a little kid. We were both little kids. Yeah, and I remember watching that game. They didn't even score a fucking goal. No, 4-0.
Yeah,
just shit kicked us.
But I mean, like, just that whole series, we had troubles. Or not we, the Canucks had troubles
they
getting.
They started that series 2-0.
Yeah, but I just mean like the whole.
Do you remember that?
Every series.
And that's when Brad Marchand became a hockey player. Like that was the series that put him on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was when him and Sagan.
Yeah.
They were fucking ripping it up.
Yeah. And that was when I was a little kid, I was the biggest Canucks fan in the world. And now, I'm not as, I still want the Canucks to win, but, I'm not emotionally invested at all. I'm separated from that.
Yeah.
Because it's you just can't do it. I can't be emotionally invested in a team.
No.
It just,
no.
It sucks.
No.
It's not fun. Because you have no control over what happens.
To be honest, if the Canucks, if they could have played the same way they did last year.
Yeah. Well, look, don't get me wrong. Last year when the Canucks were winning, I wanted them to win games. I'm fucking happy when they're winning. But it's you go out and do shit like they did this year. It's just it reminds me of why the fuck do I even care about this shit? Why should I even care? You just traded the one guy who was the biggest reason for why they had that run last year, besides Quinn Hughes and Rick Tocchet, JT. The only thing that actually made you a competitive fucking animal of a team was because that was kind of their identity, and it started with him.
And the third line. The third line.
Yeah, totally. Joshua Bluger and Garland.
Yeah,
totally, 100%.
The JBC line.
But JT, but it's almost like those guys were who they were because JT was who he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
JT brought that attitude to the Canucks.
Yeah.
That's why I was so pissed off. I don't give a fuck how old the guy is. I don't give a fuck what you get back. You're trading away what their identity was at that time. He was this, the Canucks weren't an easy team to play last year.
No.
It was fuck. We got to go play fucking JT and all these fuckers. And then you trade him for Hedl, who doesn't even play, and when he does play, he's good.
Not bad, but he's not
fast. But dude, he's not doing fucking.
He's not a second line.
He's not moving needles for this team.
It's unfortunate with his concussion problems because, that hit, was it Jason Dickinson? Fucking scumbag sort of head hit.
Yeah,
nothing happened.
Yeah,
and it kind of set him back for the rest of the season. I don't think he returned after that, but
no, he didn't return.
It's unfortunate. You get...
it's fucking stupid is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. It just sucks. And if I had to guess, it probably wasn't even Alvin and the fuck's the other guy, Rutherford's choice. It was probably ownership, freaking out over the whole media circus and feeling the pressure and him telling the GM to get him out of town. But it's it's just the wrong fucking move because now the Canucks, who last year were like the Winnipeg Jets, they were that hot going into the playoffs. And now it's 12 months later and they're not even close to that. They're years away from even fucking winning a first round again.
It's a super big off season for the Canucks. And it seems like they struggle to sign free agents. And with all the shit that's gone on in the last year.
You don't say. No wonder, man.
It's pretty tough.
It's a fucking shit show.
It's a beautiful city. Beautiful.
Yeah.
But the whole organization seems a bit fucked.
They should move him to Kelowna. That's what they should do.
Yeah, to fucking Kelowna.
How did we get to the Canucks from that? Oh, the moment. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think you really answered that.
It would be, if it was on screen, it would be 2010 watching Crosby win. But I don't know, what made me fall in love with the game was just playing the game. And when I was a little kid, I actually wasn't that interested in hockey. That's what my parents told me. And then, I don't know, I just started playing and once you get into the, I just remember being a little kid and once you start playing in competitive tournaments and shit where there's something to win and you win a gold medal, it's such a cool fucking thing. And that was probably what really made me fall in love with it. It was just all that shit.
100%. Since we're talking about playoffs, and we're kind of talking about some teams that didn't make the playoffs. A question we had was if you could insert one team into the playoffs who obviously didn't make the playoffs. If you could insert one team.
Well, I would say the Canucks, but I don't want to reward management and shit. Like, as soon as they traded Miller, even though I want the Canucks to win generally, I didn't want them to make the playoffs because I didn't want that move to be rewarded. I didn't want it to look like a good thing because I knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say the Canucks. In other circumstances, I would. In this case, I would say if Boston kept like Marchand and all them, I would have said them, but Sweeney fucked that up, so we're not going to go Boston. It would have been nice to see the Rangers actually like be good.
Yeah.
Because, like, they got a heavy lineup up front and, like, their defense is decent. It would have been nice to see them. But honestly, I think the team that deserves it the most would be Calgary.
Yeah, that was actually going to be mine. Yeah. And, like,
I think they deserve it the most. I would like to see them.
Yeah, if there was one team, you could say if we had to pick one from the West, one from the East, it's going to be Calgary and Columbus.
Yeah, 100%. And Calgary at the start of the year, we did some preseason predictions when we had no followers at this point, so none of you guys have probably seen this video.
I don't know. I still see some comments come in and people.
We didn't have very many, maybe like 2,000 followers. But if you go way back to the start of the year, I think I said that Calgary would finish last in the league. So they totally outperformed what expectations were. It wasn't just me. A lot of people thought that.
You also had the Washington Capitals
not making playoffs,
or like I want to say maybe second last in their division.
Oh, that low? I don't know if it was that low. I had some bad picks. I had Boston going to the fucking final. I also had Edmonton going to the final.
Yeah, you actually had Edmonton.
How bad of a preseason pick is that?
Terrible. You had
Edmonton Boston final.
But you had Edmonton, Vancouver leading the Pacific.
Yeah.
And you said
Edmonton, then Vancouver.
Yeah.
Because I thought Edmonton was going to make like these sick fucking moves and build on what they did last year.
Yeah.
But
I think losing Holloway.
And I thought the Canucks would just fucking stay in stature.
Yeah. Losing Holloway and Broberg, though, was a kick in the dick. That was a kick in the
If they had those guys,
dick.
like, it's just two guys, but like,
and the funny thing,
pieces.
The funny thing is, too, is like, they're probably laughing playing in St. Louis because
they're having the time of their lives.
It's fucking St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a Canadian high pressure.
Well, dude, it's like you've been on teams before where like you're not very good. Most of the teams we played on in our leagues, we were never really the top team. And like could they hear any of that?
They could probably hear.
Okay,
it's just a little bit.
Sorry, boys, we're still learning here. You know, when
idiot.
you're playing on a team that like isn't like supposed to win and you're winning, it's a great fucking feeling. Like you got that mojo flowing.
Yeah, being the underdog.
Yeah, it's the best.
Dope.
It's the best. It's the best. Because you got no fucking pressure, and it's just you're riding all off of vibes.
Yeah.
And the team you're playing, like again, this is another reason why I think the Blues are going to beat Winnipeg, because that pressure is fucking creeping behind every single Winnipeg Jets player, especially Hellebuck. And the Blues have no pressure at all. They could go out and get fucking hammered before every game. It wouldn't matter. The fact that they just made the playoffs is sick. And even if they get swept, their core is so young. Like the Blues are kind of in a similar position to Montreal. They got, I think, some really good years ahead of them.
Yeah.
Montreal's a little younger, actually, but like the Jake Neighbors and the Holloways and the fucking Brobergs. And
yeah. I know this question came up a lot, too, was Ivan Demidov. I think we've only got to see 2 games of him, but what do you think of him so far?
Well, I didn't watch much of the game, but I mean, probably what you guys all already think. Like, super talented offensively. He obviously can put up points. He can produce. I think the big question for Montreal and like what's going to be probably a huge X factor if they can actually beat the Capitals is, can Demidov, do his little shit that he does against a playoff team that isn't the Chicago Blackhawks, because that's who they played, right, when he scored? Was it Chicago?
Yeah,
or was it Carolina?
No, he played. The first game he played where he got the 2 points was Chicago.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what it's like for him when like people are fucking with him and you've got Tom Wilson hacking him in the back and telling him that he's going to ruin his life between whistles, because that shit's happening. And like we'll see how he responds to that. So we don't really know. Like it's going to be a good test for his character, and Montreal fans are really going to get a sense of who he is based off of this series, because, it could go either way. Sometimes you get a guy like Matthew Nyes who steps into the league and he doesn't seem like, a superstar, but you put him in a playoff game and he's scoring clutch goals and he's super effective. And then sometimes you've got guys like Elias Pettersson who have all the skill in the world, but then you put them into a playoff game and they're just
do shit.
Not as effective. Again, no disrespect to Petey. He's a great player, but I'm trying to be objective here, and I know, like, he's just he wasn't necessarily the reason that they were winning games last year in the playoffs. So, you know what I mean?
Hey,
and I would say Matthew Nyes was for Toronto.
Yeah, we're all human, right? So I think those guys like Petey, they're all just regular dudes,
Yeah, and that's why it's tough. It's tough. It's really tough to sit here in a chair and
shit on guys.
Yeah, like talk about guys who are way better hockey players than you ever were. So no matter what we ever say, it's all just, we're just trying to be objective. We're just trying to give our opinions. But at the end of the day, every single player in the NHL, even the American League, they're all amazing hockey players, and they're all living their dreams pretty much, doing what a lot of Canadian kids would have dreamed to do. So
yeah, no, for sure. Should we go into like potentially like some award predictions?
Well, what other questions you got? I'm gonna go through here too and see if there's any interesting ones on IG. There was a bunch. How many have we answered? Like, we got to get through a decent chunk because we got a lot of them. How the fuck do I even find these, man?
Go to the archive. So click the little three thingy-majiggies.
Fucking technically challenged here, guys.
Click the three things there.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Yeah, this one.
Are the Bolts a dark horse? No, they're not a dark horse. They're like I'd say they're like a top 3 favorite. How big is your pool? Big enough. LeBron or Jordan?
Stephen A.
Answer that.
Stephen A. Smith was.
Answer that. Because I actually have an opinion on this. I hate basketball, but I've got an opinion.
Fuck.
Who would you say?
I'm going Michael Jordan.
Okay, good. Yeah, same. Yeah. No, I think Jordan was a fucking gamer. It's literally
But you know what?
That's like the Nyes Pettersson conversation.
Here,
that's
here.
playoff
this
guy
is
versus.
This is a tough question.
Again, I barely know what the fuck I'm talking about.
This is a tough question.
What?
If we're talking LeBron and Jordan, why don't I ask you Wayne Gretzky or Ovi?
In general?
For like better goal scorer.
Because Ovi. Yeah.
Because the reason why
a question that I do want to address on here that a few people have dropped.
Because the reason why I choose Jordan over LeBron is because like Jordan's just more of a respected greatest of all time. Like his whole demeanor.
Dude, I don't know what the fucking stats were at all with the basketball guys. The only reason I picked Jordan is because I think he's a winner, and I think he carries himself the right way. Like, I think that's what a GOAT should be. He's like Crosby that way. Yeah. He reminds me of Crosby with like the way he carries himself and shit. And LeBron's obviously a great basketball player, but I just like Jordan better.
He's not shit.
Yeah,
he's not shit
like Jordan better. But this was a question that I do want to address because a lot of people dropped it. I don't even have it in front of me, but I remember seeing it. And I want to see what you say because I have an opinion on this. If Gretzky was in this era today, so like who's on the come up right now? Let's say, but he's been in the league for a few years. Let's say Gretzky was drafted the same year that Jack Hughes was drafted. So Gretzky would be like 23 right now. Do you think that... No, actually, fuck that. Let's go a little earlier. Let's say Gretzky's like 26 now because that's like when Gretzky was really popping off. Do you think that he would have the same... Do you even think that he could make the NHL? That's actually a question that I did see.
Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah. Do you even think that he would be like in the in the mix of anything? I already have my answer prepped for this.
Like if Wayne Gretzky was
just, do you think Gretzky would have the same, like if Gretzky, here's a better way. Sorry, I've been fucking this up. Here's the way to ask this question. If Gretzky was brought up in this era,
yeah,
and he played like as if he was the same age as whatever,
like
anybody, do you think he would have the same effect on the league? Do you think he would have the same numbers? Do you think he would be have the same aura, that type of thing? What do you think?
Yeah. I think Gretzky, like, yeah, I think the whole thing that I always think about for some stupid fucking reason is like the equipment and stuff. Like,
yeah,
he was using
well, in this scenario though,
he'd be
brought
using the
up
same
in modern day.
yeah, yeah.
So this, okay,
we're
gonna have the same answer. Then.
It's so tough to say. I think we're
gonna have the same answer.
Yeah, I think you'd.
Well, yeah, the answer
is yes.
The obvious answer is yes.
Is yes.
Because the only reason he was so sick back then, like if you watch him, like he was skilled, but he was not like the most crazy skilled guy we've ever seen. He was just so fucking intelligent with like the way he thought about the game, and he was always in the right area, and he always knew where guys were. Like
I think hockey IQ is hockey IQ
was through the charts.
Hockey IQ is hockey IQ.
Exactly. And so if he was brought up in this era with all of the modern equipment, he would be just that much more skilled.
Yeah.
So like it wouldn't matter. If he was brought up in this game, he would be just as good. Maybe his numbers wouldn't be as high, but he would still be like the best player just because of how smart he is. Yeah. And he'd be brought up with the same fucking skating drills that McDavid had and all this bullshit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If Gretzky had hyper lights and whatever the 6 stick is,
exactly,
he'd be good.
Exactly.
Guy was scoring goals and fucking passing the puck with an aluminum shaft.
I can understand why people ask that question, but
the funny thing is, though, if you ask someone older, though, they don't like that question, and they're gonna always go Gretzky. Or sorry, they're gonna say no. But if you asked like a boomer, Gretzky or Ovi as the greatest goal scorer of all time,
yeah,
like technically now it's Alex Ovechkin, but all these boomers would argue with you and say it's Gretzky.
No, Ovi's a better goal scorer. It was harder to score when Ovi did it. It's just I don't even know how that's a.
Look at the size of the goalie pads.
That's a debate. Sakes. Buddy, I could have scored on those fucking goalies. Like it was not. This is a good question. Actually, it's not really a good question because I probably know your answer. Sid or Ovi, quick.
Sid or Ovi? Yeah. I'm gonna go Sid because.
Did you see fucking Sid and Ovi's dap up? Like when Sid and Malkin were gifting him the Rolex after last night's game?
Yeah, actually something that I had on my notes here just for like random thoughts I had that I wanted to say is just that fucking pass he made last night.
Oh, yeah. I saw that live. It was the exact...
It was like the Canada one.
Exact same.
Like, it's a patent fucking Sidney Crosby little backhand.
He also scored, too. I was thinking before that game, like, this would be a good game to bet on the Penguins because this is basically Crosby's cup.
Yeah.
Playing Ovi last game of the year. But this is what I wanted to fucking say. So when Crosby and Malkin are linking up with Ovi, Crosby's, like, going up to, like, dab Ovi up, and you can just feel... Did you see the video?
I haven't seen the...
It might be on NHL Discussion. Look it up. You can just see Crosby, like, they're obviously, like, they like each other, and they're cordial, but they're enemies at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, Crosby has a percentage of his brain that he doesn't like Ovi, and Ovi has that same percentage where he doesn't like Crosby, as it should be. They've been enemies their whole career.
Yeah.
So when you go and see Crosby dab him up, and you just pause the video and you look at Crosby's face, he's just kind of like you can tell there's like that like little bit of like
animosity.
Fuck you kind of. Yeah. Which is like, I love it. Like, I think that's what makes their relationship so special. And I think after, when they're both retired, I think that they're going to be really, really close buddies. Because when you battle with somebody for that long and you hate each other, once it's all over, it tends to migrate into like a really deep, good relationship. So I'm sure they'll end up being really, really tight.
Yeah. Speaking of those two guys, how many more seasons do you think like I know Crosby just signed I think a 3-year, but how many more years?
Ovi just said he's not retiring.
No,
so
I know. How many more years do you think Ovi will be in the league?
Well, the only reason he's not retiring, I would assume, is because he wants to hit 900. So I wouldn't be shocked if,
he's only.
Well, like, look.
He's only fucking probably 2 goals, 4 goals.
3 goals away.
Yeah,
So he needs to play next year.
Well, yeah, I think
And he
that
already
was.
said.
I think that was inevitable.
No,
I
I
don't
know.
think he was retiring.
But like, no, well, dude, before he came out and said that, some people were speculating that it was going to be his last year.
Those people are fucking sniffing glue.
But I don't know. Like, let's see where the Caps go in the playoffs. If the Caps make like a decent run and they get through a few rounds, and then next year you got Leonard coming up again, and he'll probably take another step, and then you got fucking Andrew Cristall on the come up. You got Hudson on the come up. Like, the Capitals are going to be a dangerous team in the next like 3 to 5 year window, I think.
Yeah, Hudson. So, what, he just needs to fucking back check a little harder, eh?
Well, look, I mean, when I was watching that game, you could just sense that he was frustrated. That whole fucking team was frustrated playing. Who was it? Western Michigan.
Yeah, Western Michigan. Yeah.
That whole team was just fucking frustrated. I mean, Hudson was doing everything he could. He was trying to step up and basically like be the Quinn Hughes of the team and try to generate chances offensively, and they just couldn't get it done. And Western Michigan gets like a couple one-off rushes and they score on the rush.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much that he could do, but yeah. What else we got? We got some questions still?
Yeah, I like this question. I don't know. This is just this is just got to be your opinion or our opinion. But like, what do you think the fucking whole situation with Connor Bedard? How is that gonna? Let's talk about Connor.
I'm not. I think it's completely blown out of proportion. I think he's gonna be fine. Like,
no. Do you think that he's gonna stay in Chicago?
Yeah. Dude, like, you guys got to remember, like, Nathan McKinnon right now, some are saying that he's even better than McDavid. And McKinnon's first 4 years in the league, he was playing on a terrible Colorado team. I think they were terrible. Don't quote me on that, but I think they were pretty bad his first few years.
I can't remember Colorado being like as much as a joke as Chicago, though. No,
definitely not on that level, but they were close. Like, that's why Matt Duchene left. Remember when Duchene left Colorado?
Yeah.
It's because they were bad.
Yeah.
But in terms of points and like production and Bedard becoming this person that everybody expects him to be, McKinnon for the first 4 years of his career didn't get more than like 67 points.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. Like, these kids are so young, it's almost incomprehensible. He's 19 right now?
Yeah, or maybe just turned 20.
He's 19. He's already built like a shit brick house. He's just going to get stronger. He's going to keep lifting because he doesn't seem like the type of guy that likes to party and enjoy himself. You can tell that he, by nature, is a dude who wants to compete. He wants to win. He wants to be one of the best. That's why he gets so fucking pissed off and looks so pissed off in all these little cameras. Like, I don't expect what people want. Do you want him smiling? Wouldn't that be weirder if he was smiling and happy about losing?
Yeah,
like, he's pissed off. He wants to win. I'm not worried about him at all. I think he'll end up when it's all said and done, he'll be a top 3 player in the league for a long time.
Yeah, I'm not worried about his like point production per se. It's more so like the tools that he's being given from Chicago's.
Well, Davidson, whatever the fuck his name is, just needs to bring some guys in and help him out for sure. But
yeah.
like, look, Chicago's not as fucked as everybody thinks. From a rookie perspective,
pretty fucked.
Let me list off the rookies.
They're pretty fucked.
Not rookies, but young talent. Okay, Bedard, Nazar, who's that guy that Sesh was talking about? That defenseman, Rinzel.
Yeah, something like that.
Vlasic, Korchinski, Russian guy, Levshinov.
You know what's crazy? Actually,
what?
I was looking.
Fucking Spencer Knight.
The Chicago Blackhawks.
They got a lot.
Passed up on the opportunity of drafting Ivan Demidov.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well,
Imagine.
Oh, they got Levshinov?
Yeah. Imagine.
Well, you can't really say that until we know what Levchinov is.
No, but
Levchinov might become the next Hedman.
I just think though that like imagine Demidov.
Yeah, it'd be good.
And Bedard.
Yeah, but I think Nazar can be.
That's the problem though, is having people.
Well, they're gonna get a high pick again this year. They might even get one. So that means they could get who?
What I had on my notes
is
though,
James Hagens in this draft?
And
Schaffer.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be San Jose, Chicago, 1 and 2 picks. They got to have both the top 2 picks, and yeah, James Hagens and fucking
San Jose
Schaefer.
should take the D-man. It should almost be guaranteed that Chicago gets Hagens.
Yeah.
Because San Jose could
and I
use
like
a young franchise defenseman.
I like, because I think Hagens is a lefty. So
Yeah.
I would like Bedard to have a good lefty.
Yeah.
And then who knows, maybe
you could have Nazar on that right side.
yeah, or Toronto gets bounced in the first round. Someone offer sheets Matthew Nyes, and then Marner goes to fucking Chicago.
I've seen that. I don't know why. Why would he want to go to Chicago?
Because he's going to get the bag.
Well, I guess if he doesn't care about winning, yeah, I guess.
But you're also going to play with Connor Bedard on a young team
I don't know.
that you can help.
If it was me, I wouldn't want to go to Chicago.
No, I
At
wouldn't
that
either.
point in my career, how old is he? 27?
Yeah, I want to
He
say
doesn't have the longest window, like maybe 10 years left. 37. Like when he's 37, he's at least on his way out. Like
yeah,
it's not a lot of time in NHL years.
no, it's like fucking 20 dog years.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that means.
All right, well,
Are we done? Should
do
we
we-
back this bitch up?
do we want to do a couple more questions, or that's probably good, eh? We can cut this part out.
I'm good. No, it's fine. We don't got to cut this. It's just genuine. How long was that?
I'm not too sure, but let's give the listeners and the watchers an update here. We got the merch is finally, I think, almost we're almost fucking at the finish line here. The tariffs like really fucked us, boys. I'm not gonna lie, the tariffs really fucked us. We want to be able to sell our hats to everybody. If we did go with our original solution or our original plan to all of our American followers, you guys would have been paying, I think now it's 245%.
Yeah, it was fucked. It wasn't sustainable. So
No.
if you guys are waiting for the hats, just we're trying our best. Again, like we're new to all this shit, setting up podcasts, making hats. Like, come on, boys, give us a break. We're figuring it out on the fly.
I'm editing videos every fucking day, so
Yeah.
it's tough to fit everything in.
But that being said, just stay posted on the Instagram stories and specifically follow the merch account because there's like much more in detail updates on that account versus the actual main account.
Yeah, we want the people that are following Shop the Fucking Show to have first access
Exactly.
when it drops.
So, like, for example, this drop, we still don't have a designated date, but when that date comes, if you're following the actual specific merch account, you're going to know before everybody else. We might even launch it there secretly before everybody else to ensure that you guys actually get your hats because we're not necessarily loaded, so we can't buy a shit ton. So we have pretty low amounts of stock. We have no idea how fast it's going to go, but once it does go, it's gone, and then we're just moving on to the next drop. So if one of these hats you do like and you like the design, just understand that it's never going to be restocked. And hopefully you get it if you try to get it on
and
time.
we are going to try really, really hard to – the goal is to obviously make at the very least, one sick hat for every
eventually,
NHL team.
Eventually.
So
and like another thing, like it won't just be teams. We're gonna branch out and just try to, like every drop will be unique. So for this one, it was the original 6. The next one might be the Pacific Division.
Who knows? It
the
might
next
even
one after
be
that,
fucking beer shit.
Might be beer brands. Like there's always gonna be a new theme to the hats, and that's what we wanted it to do. We didn't just want to make a bunch of hats and always have them in stock. We wanted to make something cool where it was like each drop is its own new thing and it never comes back again. So it kind of is cool for you to have the hat because there's a very small amount of people that even have that hat.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe that even has cool resale value if
Yeah.
if TFS blows up. You never know.
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, who knows, right? It could happen. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. How the fuck do you end a podcast?
I think we just go fucking.
That's it?
That's a fucking wrap.
We should probably figure out a designated way to end these. But I suppose for today, good luck to your teams. Thank you for watching. And this has been the fucking show podcast. Until next time.
Until next time.